What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We got a bit of a different one for you today. I posted on Twitter, Instagram, pretty much everywhere doing a Q&A, and so that's what we got. I got quite a few questions in. Probably not going to get to all of them, but I'm going to answer as many as I can. Before we get into it, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss out. Also, go subscribe to my other two channels. I got a Desire to Inspire podcast and the Dom and Dill podcast. Both extremely great shows, but completely different vibes. So if you want to see me like in different elements, definitely go check those out. I also put up a poll on my Twitter recently just to kind of see what kind of content you want to see here. And surprisingly, an overwhelming amount of you said you want to see some more lifestyle stuff. So I guess we're just going to start daily vlogging, like just doing random shit and see where that takes us. But let us get into the first question. This one is your favorite muscle group to train. For me, this isn't that hard of a question. I just made a breath like it was gonna be super hard, but back, 110% back. It's always gonna be back. For me, I personally believe that if you want to get stronger in any capacity, you got to build a stronger back. I talk about it with my clients all the time. I post about it all the time. Your back is just the foundation of everything strength-based. I love deadlifts, I love pull downs, I love rows. So for me, it has got to be back every single time. I will skip any days, but I will never skip a back and buys day. That's the one right there. Next question. How do you manage tracking your calories without becoming overly obsessive about the number? I have had problems with this in the past. I think that this is definitely a case-by-case basis. I think that tracking your calories, your macros, anything that has a number attached to it has the possibility of going south on you. I think that if you use it, okay, for example, here's the way I do it. I like to use a baseline. I don't like to track 24/7. It's not who I am. Like, I'm not trying to track every little thing. Then I've done this in the past too. I'm not gonna sit here after I haven't. I'll go out to restaurants and I will only go if I can find nutrition facts online. And it's just every little thing is down to a science. And does it work? Yeah, but at what cost? For me, I like to live a very balanced life. I like to go out. I like to have food that I don't know what's 100% in it. Like, I can get the gist, but like, it doesn't need to be a perfect number. I like to have beers. I like to do all of these things that just obsessively tracking doesn't allow. And so for me, it's just that. It's don't focus up, make a baseline and then go off of that. Like, for me, I have a staple set of 4 or 5 meals that I eat every single week and I just repeat them. And so I know consistently about what I'm getting in. But if you are someone who you know you're obsessive and like, you know that you are going to take this too far, I would say don't track at all. Like, try to do something else. Intuitive eating is another one of those things where if you're not very educated on nutrition or food, whatever it is, like, you're probably not gonna do well with intuitive eating. So I don't like saying that one either, because that's just basically listening to your body and eating when it's hungry. But a lot of people don't know what real hunger feels like, so they just eat because they're bored. So I don't know, take like meat, hold in your hand, that's about how much you should eat for a meal, do different things like that, but just don't obsess over the number. Like, don't allow it to consume everything you do. Allow yourself some flexibility. That's another one. Like, just track while you're at home and allow yourself flexibility. If you want to go out and enjoy yourself, go out and don't worry about it. Don't beat yourself up. Just adjust and just kind of live a balanced lifestyle. I don't like to be a freak about these things. Like, I like to be healthy, but I like to live. So yeah, that's a long-winded answer and it's probably all over the place, but that's what I would say. I guess this one kind of goes off of it. What's your favorite post-workout meal? For me, I typically train fasted, which is about to change here soon. I'm going into a legit bulk. I've been kind of trying to bulk, but this one's gonna be legit. We're doing it, check out the Desire to Inspire podcast channel. We're about to have a whole thing up on this Friday about me, Freddie, and 2 of our friends are going to jump into a bulk where we're gonna compete against each other to try to push our numbers up. But right now I typically train fasted. I like to train first thing in the morning. So my post-workout meal is my breakfast. And every day my breakfast is the same. 6 whole eggs, 2 slices of sourdough toast, and a cup of bone broth. It's a great way to get some calories in, great whole foods, high protein. There's nothing better than that meal post-workout. I'm becoming obsessed with it. Like, I look forward to it every day. It's a real problem here. Let's see. 3 things you wish you could tell yourself when you first got in the gym. Number 1, don't worry about what the scale says. I know that when I first started training, I was on the heavier side and I had some weight to lose. And so I would constantly like obsess over what the scale said. Even if I was feeling better, even if I was looking better, if I went up a pound or 2, I would like freak out and start restricting my diet. Don't do that. Your body's adjusting to this new lifestyle. Let it do what it does for 3 to 4 months. And then if you need to start making tweaks, do so. But your body's gonna recomp itself. So definitely do that. Number 2 would have to be train with intensity and purpose. Don't just go in there and go through the motions. I know that when you're first getting in the gym, it can feel like a chore. I'm at the point where I feel weird if I don't go to the gym now. And that's not to say that I'm motivated every day, but it's a habit that I formed. So that I know, like, even when I don't feel like it, well, I gotta go to the gym today, just the same way I gotta brush my teeth and do all this other stuff. Like, it's just how it is. So, but training with intensity and purpose is going to just propel you so much further than if you're just going through the motions. There's a thing called newbie gains, and it is 100% true. You are in this phase where your body's gonna react to it so much, you're going to see a huge change if you just go in there and you train with intensity and purpose. And number 3 would have to be, don't give a fuck about anybody else in that gym. I know it's an intimidating place. This is something that I talk to a lot of my clients about. Gym intimidation. They're so afraid to get in there because they don't want to look weird, or they don't want people to see them working out, or they don't want to do the wrong exercise with the wrong machine or this and that. I can promise you, no one in that gym is worried about you. They have those same feelings you have. I still have these feelings. I'll do a new movement. I'm like, ooh, I do not want anybody to see me doing this. Or if I miss a lift, I'm like, ooh, don't want anybody to see that. But like, everyone in there is thinking the same thing. Everyone is insecure. Everyone has their own things that they deal with. And they're worried about themselves. Like, think about it. You're worried about yourself. Just to say that out loud, you're worried about yourself, to even think that these people would have any thoughts about you. So I know it's hard, but as much as you can, just put that out of your mind that they're not worried about me. They're so focused on themselves. I have nothing to worry about here. What are my thoughts on carbs? I think that carbs are necessary for anyone who's doing any kind of exercise. I think that they have been demonized by society. And honestly, I think it's just right now, it's like the hot thing to kind of go at. This happens all the time. Fats are bad for you. Carbs are bad for you. All these different things. Eggs are bad for you. I just told you I had 6 a day. Like, it's just something that they want to say. But at the end of the day, carbs are a primary source of energy. The only problem is when you eat excess amounts of carbs and you do not utilize them, then it's going to turn to fat. So there is a danger there, but it's just, you have to know. I mean, this is with any food. This isn't just with carbs. Like, you just have to know not to overindulge. And that should be something that's basic, but we're not taught these things in school. We're taught so many things. We are not taught the basics of nutrition. We're not taught what we should eat, when we should eat it, how we should eat it. But carbs are meant to be fuel. There's a reason like that. I can remember in high school when I would play soccer, the day before a game, they'd be like, oh, make sure you eat a lot of pasta tonight. I'm like, that seems counterintuitive. Like, first of all, people say that's bad for you. I'm a 16-year-old kid. I don't know any better. And it sits so heavy, but the next day it's digested and you use it as energy. It gets stored and you use it. If you don't use it though, it's going to be stored as fat. So the problem is when people, today, no one eats like regular carbs. You don't eat rice and potatoes. You eat potato chips, processed. You eat French fries, fried in oil. Like, you take carbs that could be pure whole food carbs and you make them bad. So carbs themselves are not bad. Carbs themselves are necessary. You just have to know how to utilize them properly. What are some of your favorite ways to eliminate distractions and stay on track? For me, this is just kind of time blocking. I have the benefit of working from home. I'm 100% remote. I may be going to the office once a month, and that's being generous. But for me, I get up, I knock out all of my things early in the morning, and it puts me in a good headspace. Then I'll block off 2 to 3 hours to like go deep in like my 9 to 5 job, like do some work. I don't get on my phone. I'll have like a podcast or music playing, but I'm not on my phone. I'm not scrolling Instagram. I'm not doing all this other stuff because that is a distraction. So I make sure it's away from me. It's out of thought, out of sight, out of mind, and I just focus on work. And when I'm doing things like this, editing these vlogs, podcasts, whatever it is, I do the same thing. I block off time. I shut myself in my office and I just get to work. Like, that's the thing is, we all love to make excuses. We all love to get distracted. This right here is the biggest distraction, but you have the power to just put it in the other room. So if you really want to eliminate distractions, just put it away from you and just focus on what you need to get done. You're honestly probably going to see a lot of benefits just from like shutting your mind off and getting it off of social media. We're not meant to be on our phones as much. It's just something that's happened over time, but this is not normal. So definitely get away from some of the distractions that you're struggling with. How do you stay so consistent? I feel like I kind of touched on this one a little bit. People like to confuse consistency with motivation. And I am here to tell you, I said it earlier, I'm not always motivated. I would say over half the time I'm not motivated, but I am disciplined. I've made this a habit. I know that I have goals I want to reach, and I know that in order to get to those goals, I have to show up. If I don't show up, then what the fuck am I doing? You're either getting, every decision you make is either getting you one step closer to the life you want to live or one step farther away. And it is ultimately up to you to make every single one of those decisions. So for me, I know the life that I want to live isn't behind me. That I've been through that life, it's not a life that I enjoyed. So I'm going to make the decisions to go this way. I'm going to make the decisions that are going to propel me to go forwards. And that means being consistent even when I don't want to be fucking consistent. It means that when I wake up and I'm fucking tired and I want to go back to bed, that I get up anyway and I go put in the work that needs to be done. Motivation is a fleeting thing. Like, if you're going to sit around and wait for motivation all the time, you're going to be sitting around forever because it's not going to fucking come. Motivation comes as a byproduct of doing shit, honestly. Like, this is the God's honest truth. If I sit around on the couch for too long, like, on just like an off day and I just veg out and I binge watch some shows, like me and Dami will watch like 4 or 5 episodes in a row every once in a while, I feel like shit about it. Like, I'm like, what am I doing? Like, and then that takes away motivation. It takes away my drive. And it makes me feel lazy. It makes me feel like, yeah, it is not a good feeling. But when I'm constantly doing things, when I'm being productive, when I get up, I work out, I come home, I get some editing done, I go for a walk, I come back, I do some reading, I go back to my desk and I do some more editing, and then I shoot a podcast. I'm just constantly moving. I always just want to keep going forward. And it just always keeps me progressing. So the more I'm productive, the more I'm motivated to keep doing that. And it forces me to be consistent. So as far as me being consistent, I just am. I know I have goals I want to reach, and I keep that in the back of my mind. And every time that I don't want to be consistent, I tell myself, what kind of life do you want to live? And it gets my ass up off the couch. And last question for this video. This is going longer than I thought. I'm kind of fired up a little bit. But the last one is my top arm finisher. Definitely changes from day to day. I went through a phase where I was running the rack, which if anyone follows me on Instagram or TikTok or anywhere, which if you don't, it's DThack. Give me a follow there. It's basically like where I'll do regular curls, drop 10 pounds, or I'll do hammer curls with like 30s, drop 10 pounds, do regular curls with the 20s, go up to 25s, hammer curls again, down to 15s, regular curls, and it'll get those biceps going. But I'm also a huge tricep guy. I think that they are super effective and just overlooked in terms of the bench press. So I've been really getting my triceps stronger, and it's a lot of push down variations to end my workouts, like 3 sets, AMRAP or drop sets. So as many reps as possible, or I'll do drop sets where I'll start at like 70, 80 pounds, drop it to 60, drop it to 40, and literally just go until I can't go anymore, and then drop it again, go till I can't go, drop it again. So I just have been liking like these kind of burnout things to finish up my workouts. But that is it for the questions. Let me know if you guys want me to do more of these. Like I said, we've been seeing some requests for some more lifestyle stuff, so I am going to Florida this week, so probably get some lifestyle stuff there. Be back with another donut review soon too. I don't think I've done one of those in a while, and I've been craving donuts anyway, so let's fucking get it. It's bulking season, right? So yeah, subscribe to the channel, leave this video a like. If you got more questions, comment them below or hit me up on social, and I'll save them for the next one. Until then, peace. Oh yeah, don't forget, buy your BPN subs. My link below. Support the boy. Peace for real.